My name is Lillian Tebere. I work with Northern Uganda Youth Development Center as the Deputy Director in charge of administration, but also currently the Acting Director for this center. My comment in regards to the presentation that was just made is in relation to access to government programs. I think this meeting has brought us to discuss youth unemployment, and the presentation has already been very clear on what provisions government has made towards enhancing youth employment. But I want to agree with the fact that the access to these programs is still a problem to the majority of youth, particularly in northern Uganda. And to me, I look at three critical areas that makes this access a big problem. The first and foremost is knowledge of these programs. Many times we have very good programs, and the people who should be benefiting from these do not have adequate knowledge. You have talked about application processing, but I want to go back to the very knowledge of these programs existing. It is not adequately publicized. The people who are supposed to have this knowledge are not receiving it. It is at the legislative assemblies where they know what the policies are, but this is not disseminated. Not many people know about these programs. I personally work for a youth program. I don't know how many people in this house have heard about a youth development center in Gulu. Because, members, I'd like to report that for the last maybe 5 or 6 years that this program has been in operation, actually sub-region, you know, this is a center that is in actually sub-region, but how many youth do we register in this center to train in skills that empower them who come from this region? Very few. Because I don't know whether it is the knowledge that is not enough, or even my next point, which is attitude. So my first point is we do not have adequate knowledge on these existing programs. The other thing is attitudes. I think as young people, one big constraint to our own employment is the attitudes that we young people have. Attitudes to work, attitudes to employment. The general attitudes that we portray sometimes make us, as young people, even unemployable. Like I've already said, I work for a youth program, and this program trains young people in various vocational skills. But the attitudes are exhibited right even from the point of enrollment. Young people come to enroll for courses that they think provide quick and free money. The demand for a course in driving, I believe everybody who buys a car knows how to drive it, or at least has the potential to drive it. But what the young people look at, a prestigious life of sitting behind wheels. So this is a very, very wrong attitude. We have a very big population enrolled in agriculture. If I were to ask you this house, how many of us in this house has ever produced anything? If you've ever produced anything, put up your hand. If you've ever produced anything, it could be food, it could be any good, or a service that somebody else used, put up your hand. So you can see how many hands are up. Huh? And yet, each and every one of us, if I ask if you've ever consumed anything, I believe all of us will put up a hand. So how do you expect to be employed when you cannot produce anything? Thank you. So lastly, I will talk about production enhancing inputs. I work with a youth group. We train young people in various skills, but at the end, many of them fail to turn the skills into employment because they lack the production inputs. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.